Welcome back to another episode of the Gambling Goats podcast. He's Johnny, I'm Shea. And we had, week one football came and went. It was a little bit of a rough start for me, but I'm looking to bounce back this week. Johnny, what do you think about week one? Tell me all about it.
Sorry, I had to take a sip first. And cheers, by the way, Shea. And week one, it was a fun one, man. Football's back. What a good feeling. That's gambling. We'll go over our last week's picks here. We got fresh picks. We're feeling a little bit more confident about last week. What a dog week. Underdogs. I actually came out way ahead on an underdog ticket. Could have made $10,000. Cashed out, luckily, because I had the Bears over Rams. If I didn't have that I knew the Rams, so that's why I cashed out. But if I didn't have that, the next game was Raiders over Baltimore, which I still think I would have cashed out early. But wow, what a game that was too. And it ended up Raiders, so it would have made its way through, but that's gambling. Anyways, what a week. Shea, let's get into this week. But first, let's go over last week. They were.
I hear you. Yeah, like I said, off the get-go there, I didn't have the best week. I went 2-5. My lock of the week hit, though. I'll tell you that right now. I had the Seahawks over the Colts, -2.5. Seahawks took the Colts to their back porch and just bent them over it. They could do whatever they wanted.
Great
game. It was
an
easy win. I was not worried about that one. Let Russ cook. That guy was airmailing that ball all over the field. Very happy
Defense
with that
was
pick.
picking. Yeah. Or we can say Titans were throwing picks. Either way, great lock of the week. My lock of the week last week hit as well. San Fran money line. Detroit had a little bit of a comeback there, and they are looking a little strong. And I'd say San Fran has a good defense, so that was definitely a fun game to watch. But San Fran still came out way ahead. Really good game, great game to take the over. But the San Fran money line was an easy pick.
Yeah, your Packers are probably a little worried this week after watching that Detroit comeback. I'll just throw that one out there now.
Everyone's a little worried. I went through the comments section. You should see what they're saying. Holy fall, fire Jacobs, put Love in. People got to stay loyal to their their teams. But it's one loss. Definitely a tough game. I did have Green Bay -4, and that didn't hit. I was 3 for 5 out of the picks I gave out last week. One of which being Broncos -3. Love what I'm seeing from the Broncos. Yep. Denver's definitely a team that I'm hopping on with right now. Sorry, beers are just coming up and down. But I love the Broncos. What a good game. Teddy Bridgewater really balling out. Teddy Two Gloves. He's having fun. He's smiling. His helmet comes up smiling. He's running. I think he feels good there, and that's nice to see. So Denver's still a good team.
Yeah, the Broncos are rolling there. They did have a big injury to their wideout, Jerry Jeudy. Went down with a high ankle sprain. He is going to miss a couple weeks. So that's going to be a tough blow for this Broncos offense. That was they were rolling with Teddy Bridgewater. But you know what? I'm confident. Teddy's a vet. He can spread the ball around the field. Yes, it's a big blow for them, but I still see them, contending with their division there. So, my lock of the week came through Seattle -2.5. We were both wrong on the Titans. Titans got their doors blown off by the Cardinals.
I didn't pick the Titans for that reason. I remember I said I wanted to stay. I did want to, but I didn't. And there's a difference, so don't bring me into your loss.
Listen, you were in on it. Sam Darnold revenge game. Let's go.
That was fun.
They beat the Jets, and I called it. Robbie Anderson revenge game as well. He got in the house with one touchdown from Sam Darnold.
I saw that.
So I want to throw that out there. My Pats lost by.
It was old Jet to old Jet, and it was nice. Good to watch. I think right after Sam Darnold got his head knocked in pretty good, but with a good sack.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen. My Patriots lost to the Dolphins by 1 point. Really terrible fumble there in Dolphins zone. They should have came down and won that game and covered that, but they fumbled the ball too much in that game. That's just costly mistakes. Matt Darnold did play very well, though. I will say that. For a rookie, he didn't throw any picks, didn't have any turnovers. He had that one fumble that he got back right off the start. He looked good. So I was okay with Mac Jones. Just a tough break in the fumbles with the running backs and the wide receivers. They had 4 fumbles. You're not going to win football games that way.
Nope.
And the Bills lost and blew apart my teaser. So, it's going to happen. That's gambling.
That's gambling is right. So Green Bay was and I said I was making that pick with my heart. If we could do a rewind, and it's like, this is a bet with my heart, so maybe don't go with me on this. That's when you got to listen to me. But anyways, Green Bay lost, and I had Bills money line and over. And if you would have took the exact opposite, you'd be a lucky man. Those two picks didn't come in. San Fran money line, Broncos -3, and LA Rams did. I was all over the LA Rams. Wow, that was the best game. Stafford was looking good. To be honest, I think the other side was making him look good by allowing him to pass so much. But either way, great game for him to start off. So week 1 was a lot of fun. I actually had a $10 that parlay ticket. I cashed out for $7.70, so the account was way up, which really helped me. I also had Montgomery and Henderson both to get a TD, and that hit. So that was like 240 there, and that was great for me, and allows me to come back this week even stronger. Those are picks I didn't put out on the pod, but sometimes you just get a last minute feeling. You look at those special props, you look at some of the plays, and you're like, let's ride with this instead. So I saw the dogs in all the matchups. I'm like, a lot of these dogs were looking good. Going into week 2, this week here, I think I'm actually a lot more on Vegas' side. I think we're starting to see what teams are doing here, but at the end of the day, you never know. That's gambling. And I've got some good picks this week, I think. I've got a nice little Peter Piper parlay with 4 teams that I'm going to put a unit down on, and we'll go from there. Shea, you want to start us off for this week?
Yeah, you know what, man? I can kick us off here. Tough week 1 for me, but I'm looking to bounce back here. I've seen the teams, man in the suit. I'm looking at the teams. I got the numbers. I'm taking a couple dogs this week. I'll tell you right now, I'm taking a couple dogs. Not all dogs, but I'm taking a couple. My first game up here is the Saints -3 visiting the Carolina Panthers. Listen, Sam Darnold got his revenge game last week. He played the Jets. He threw for 279 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 1 giveaway. He fumbled the ball. Their O-line looked solid. Looked okay. They only allowed 1 sack against Sam Darnold, and that was that big hit that he took. So that's going to happen. But the Saints pass rush is not the Jets pass rush. Let's tell you that right now. The Saints pass rush, they have the #1 defense in the league right now. After week 1, I expect to have Sam Darnold seeing ghosts by the end of this game. He did that a few years ago. My Patriots there. Saints coming off that big win against the Packers. Their defense held Rodgers to 229 total yards.
How about that one pass that was like 56 yards or something crazy?
Oh my God, Jameis Winston was just airing it out. But this is the best.
Drew Brees, I guess this is what Saints were missing.
Exactly. This is the best stat I loved about that game. Jameis Winston went 14 for 20 for 148 yards and 5 touchdowns.
Love that.
The only quarterback to throw less than 150 yards and get 5 touchdowns in one game. So their defense was holding them. They were getting great field position. They were just scoring at will. It made it look easy. I think the Saints are the way better team here. Their defense is going to carry them through the Panthers here. I don't think the Panthers O-line is going to be able to keep up with that pass rush. I think this line should be more like Saints -6.5. So getting them at -3, I'm going to take them at -3. That's my favorite play of the week right there. Saints -3 at the Panthers.
You heard it here first. Shea's riding with the Saints. Obviously, last week I had a little idea thinking the Saints weren't going to be there. Be ready. Never doubt a team coming out of desperation. Oh my God, do they ever come together strong? That game was just balling on another level. They were throwing the ball wherever they wanted. Scoring at will is a great way to put it, because I was getting fed up and I just switched the game. You were saying that I didn't even know Aaron Rodgers got pulled for Love. Wouldn't doubt it. But I didn't even see it because I wasn't watching that game anymore.
It was over by halftime. It was done.
So going into this week, I do like the Saints over the Panthers. That's a great pick. That's a little fun one. Going into my picks here, I'm just pulling up the stat sheet, but I'm gonna give you. There are a couple dog teams this week that I do like. However, there's probably only three. Tonight we got Washington Giants. So by the time this is up, we won't even see that. But I will be watching that tonight, and that one will be interesting. I liked what I saw from San Fran last week.
Okay.
Sorry, Shea, I'm just pulling this up here.
Oh, good.
Is Yap ever slow? Right?
Mm-hmm.
It is just touchy. Don't touch it more than once. But I like San Fran here with the spread -3. If I could just pull it up.
It'll happen. It'll happen eventually. These things happen. Yeah. So San Fran laying them 3 points. I think they're playing the Eagles there in Philly. What do you got for
This is actually probably my favorite underdog team, having the Philadelphia Eagles, seeing what they're doing. They were looking really good. However, I'm going to stick with San Fran. I'm going to stick to my gut feeling here. I think San Fran can cover 3. My first pick of the week, not my lock of the week, but my first pick of this week is going to be San Fran -3 over the Eagles. However, I will be putting in a dog team ticket, $10 parlay with 3 teams. And I'll get to that at the end, but one of them is going to be the Eagles because it's a good little matchup here. And I like San Fran over Eagles on paper. San Fran should win money line all day long. I think they can cover 3 points. I'm sticking to that. Yep. But the Eagles are just so unexpectedly, they won the Super Bowl, 3 or 4 years ago?
2018, yeah.
Yeah, and your team doesn't get terrible over 3 years, but they've got some young kids in the room. They've got some vets. I like the Eagles, but I'm taking the 49ers -3 spread.
Okay.
That's my
first
pick.
I like how you went back and forth there. You're like, I like the Eagles, but I'm taking the 49ers. But I also
tough.
like the Eagles.
This isn't easy,
I like
guys.
that. I like that little back and forth there.
I'm betting my money on this,
That's using your head, not your heart right there.
I am. So, and my heart kind of likes the Eagles because of last week and the dogs. I'm not getting caught up in that mumbo jumbo. New week, fresh. On paper, 49ers should cover 3 points. I like it. I'm taking that.
You know what? I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all. So that brings me to my second pick here.
Yeah.
So, number 2. If I were to tell you that to start the season off after week 1, the Las Vegas Raiders would lead the league in offense, what would you say to me?
Well, to be honest, they're a little spotty. I don't know how far I can get behind Derek Carr, but he is a great quarterback. And he is their star quarterback for a reason. Weird looking guy. He reminds me of the Undertaker. His eyes.
He does, eh?
I don't know what it is, man. And he's got some cool and weird tattoos, kind of like the Punisher. He's like a mixture of the Punisher and the Undertaker. His eyes, I thought he was always wearing like mascara because he has like the black lines around his eyes. I don't know. No, like it looks intense. He doesn't even need because he just fucking looks like an intense dude in the way he looks down the field. But from California, great stats his whole career. Raiders have been such a, like such a team to
either good or not good. Good or
exactly.
Not good.
Hot and cold. Great foundation for fans, though. I think the switch from Oakland to Las Vegas was very tough transition.
That new stadium is amazing.
Exactly. Allegiant Stadium is fucking unreal. That's what it's called, right? Allegiant.
Yep.
And it's beautiful. Is it AC too? Like it's cool in there. I forget
what
they were
dude,
saying.
They got everything.
It has to be
$3 billion on this stadium.
So I think that with the fans of Vegas, like look what happened with NHL team Vegas Knights. You know what I mean? When you get when you start having the money and the funding and the when your locker room's $1 billion locker room kind of thing, the team gets better quick, man, because people believe in you and they're spending money on you. So I could see them picking up the pace. If to answer your question, I would have said no. Like they're kind of trashy.
Well, let me tell you this right now, man. They are the number 1 offense in the league after week 1. Derek Carr went 34 for 56 through the air for 435 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. He was force feeding Darren Waller, who got 10 receptions for 105 yards, 1 touchdown, and he had 19 targets.
Mhm.
So he only caught 10 of them. If he were to catch 19, he would be way over 200 yards. Like Darren Waller's their number one option through the air by far. Their defense surprised me. So their defense was solid. We had Max Crosby, who he's going to be a problem this year. That guy had 2 sacks and 2 tackles for a loss. He was all over Lamar Jackson. He held Lamar Jackson to 86 rush yards, which that's an accomplishment for a guy, of Lamar Jackson's
100%.
talent. And then you flip it over. You go to the Steelers
You're
side
shutting
of
them
things.
down.
You go to the
Yep.
Steelers side of things. Yes, their defense was good. You know what? Their defenses have been good for years, but their offense looked like shit. They had a phony win against the Bills in Week 1. The only reason they won that game was because they blocked a punt and returned it for a touchdown.
Are you talking about Steelers now?
Yeah. I said flip it. Let's go to the Steelers. Their defense is great. Their offense, meh, not so good.
You got weapons.
They got weapons, but they've been irrelevant. So they had that phony win. They blocked the punt. They returned it for a touchdown. They took the lead. They just held on to the lead. They grinded it out. They kicked a few field goals just to kind of extend that. Big Ben's offense is currently ranked 29th in the league. That's not good. That's at the bottom of the barrel. So 5.5 points the Steelers are laying to the Raiders at home in Pittsburgh. Give me the Raiders, man. The Raiders are hot, dude. I'm taking the Raiders plus the 5.5. It's a risky one, but this is my dog. I like the Raiders this week.
I like that. You know what? That's coming off a hot pick. And see, where I see where you're going with that now. I like it. Because the same thing though being said, and the Steelers had a hot season last season. Irrelevant. You know what I mean? Great weapons. I don't know if Big Ben got injured or if they just got shut down quick at the end of the season.
That's what it is. Yeah, he's just old. That's all it is.
Bad game. Couldn't win. Couldn't find a way. You know what? That Raiders game against Lamar, man, Lamar just couldn't get a third down.
He was getting pressured all over the place.
Oh, man. And he was getting a good running game going for a second there. But I think they're really trying to contain him with the injuries they've had. I think it's tough, and you got to let a baller ball. Like Lamar Jackson is a free baller. He can do a lot of things if you let him, but I think they're trying to keep him more in pocket throwing balls away, which is not his style. And that's tough for a guy of Lamar Jackson's abilities to start training him to do. That's not what his brain does. You know what I mean? So then you have him thinking one way, wanting to do another. That half second you're getting grabbed at and it's over. So I think the Ravens, as much as I like them as a team with their injuries and what's going on, it seems like they're having a tough time. And I love Lamar Jackson. I think he's a baller. So I can get behind him. I trust him as, against most teams here. But anyways, just my predictions. I just don't really see a good or healthy mix of what should be happening there for that QB line at the Ravens. But I like that pick. Raiders, you're going, so what was your pick? Raiders over Steelers?
Yeah, Raiders plus 5.5.
Plus 5? 5.5.
Yeah.
You know what? I think that's another great dog. It won't be part of my dog ticket, I don't think, this week, but wow, that's a good one.
Yep.
And Steelers are wishy-washy, man.
They could be good. They could be shit. Their defense is awesome. Don't get me wrong. Their defense is great. Their offense is nothing to write home about.
Let's get into another dog pick that I actually like here, and it's a tough one. But Bears are just looking terrible.
Bears are looking like garbage.
The Bears are looking bad.
They got exposed.
And I was watching every part of the field. It just seems like they don't have their shit together. I think the Bengals Bengals came back hot. Bengals had a great game. Bengals put on a show. Joe Burrow is back, baby, and I love it.
Yep.
So, they've got a great young team. They're throwing to each other. They know each other. There's charisma. I'm taking the Bengals money line dog ticket here over Bears. I'm liking that. Vegas can give us their numbers and try to persuade us. But, no, I like Bengals, and that's going to be my dog for the week here. Not my pick of the week, but that's my dog of the week.
I hear you. And you know what, man? I was looking at that game. And, last week, the Bears let Matthew Stafford throw the ball all over them. So they exposed what's the issue with the Bears defense, and that's their cornerbacks. So
what was his passer rating or whatever?
His passer rating was 156.1.
Yeah.
which is the highest that week. So he
Thank you,
had
Bears.
best passer rating of the week. And he exposed them. So he exposed them deep, and he was hitting those deep shots long. Cooper Kupp had a couple. It was just one of those things where if Joe Burrow watches that game film, he's going to notice, hey, I can hit Jamar Chase on the sideline pretty deep. I could take advantage of these young cornerbacks the Bears have and just expose them again. So I don't think this Bears defense is anywhere dominant like they were last year or the year before, or they have been for the last 20 years. I don't think they're that team anymore.
Yeah, and I agree. I'm also thinking, though, about Bengals and most specifically Joe Burrow's mindset, where he's coming from going into this season.
Yeah.
Hungry. Hungry dog. Man. What happened to his season? That could have been a career-ending season. Your first overall pick, the hottest young star, man, him winning at LSU with the cigar and stuff, everyone's behind it. And this could have been a drastic thing. And it would have sucked because 10 years from now, you just would have never really remembered the name. Just would have, oh, Joe Burrow, what a shame. And that would suck. That'd suck so bad because your first overall, you go to the shittiest fucking team that has no offensive line to fucking protect you. And you fucking take a hit like that. And, that it actually emotionally gets to me a little bit, for these guys, because you want to see the best for them. I want the best for everyone, but I just think that Burrow's coming back hard this season. Safe, smart. I think he's going to be playing smarter. I think he's only got, I think the Bengals still aren't the best team in the league or anything, but in this game, I really like the Bengals over the Bears.
Yeah, but let me just throw this out here. Andy Dalton revenge game.
True, which is great.
But I don't think he has the team, and you know what? I don't think they have the O-line to take advantage of that. So Andy Dalton revenge game. He's had this circled, and you know what? This could be the last game Andy Dalton starts. They could have signed Andy Dalton and been like, you know what? We'll get you to week 2. You can play the Bengals. It can be your game. After that, we're going with our guy Fields. We drafted him. He's going to be playing the rest of the season. So just keep an eye out for that. But no, I agree. I think the Bengals are the better team. The Bears got exposed last week deep. So I like that pick, man. Good pick.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, and for my next pick here, Johnny, I like what you were saying about the Bears. I like what you're saying about, the Bengals. I like the Bengals in that game. But for my next pick here, I'm going with the team that just dominated the Bears. I'm going with the Rams on the road, laying 3.5 points against the Indianapolis Colts. Now, the Colts defense, they got exposed by Russell Wilson in week 1. They gave up 381 yards of total offense, letting Russ cook once again. So, Russ had the second highest passer rating against the Colts defense that is supposed to be good. They're not that good, man. And guess who had the first? We've already mentioned it once. Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford had the highest passer rating against, a Bears defense, who also shitty. Carson Wentz is not that same quarterback he was in 2018 when he brought the Philly Eagles there to the Super Bowl. And here's a stat for you. He's now lost his last 5 starts in a row dating back to last year. So I don't think Carson Wentz is that guy. Carson Wentz is not that guy, pal. He's not that guy.
So we got Rams.
Rams are looking good. They're looking like Super Bowl contenders. Matthew Stafford, Sean McVay, they gel together. They have, that kind of age similarities where, I think Matthew Stafford is only a couple of years older than Sean McVay, the head coach there. And he's a more veteran quarterback. He was throwing the ball downfield. He threw 20 for 26, 321 passing yards, and 3 TDs. He exposed a Bears defense that's supposed to be good, like I was saying before, and he made them look non-existent. This is another one of the picks where I was thinking, the line was going to be 6.5, 7 for the Rams. It's not. It's 3.5. I'm taking the Rams at 3.5, -3.5.
Rams over Indianapolis.
Yeah, Indy's one of those teams, man.
Team, but they are one of those teams. Exactly. Yeah. I was just gonna say that. And Rams are looking good. So 3.5 points. We will see. Hate to see it be a field goal game. preseason, I don't mind how Indianapolis is throwing the ball up and down the field here. And we said the same thing last season with Russ cooking, and that's what got me off birds, is because I started getting on Russ cooking, and he wouldn't cook.
Oh, he's cooking.
He's cooking now. First game in. Nice pick. I will go into my next pick, and it's a team that I am sticking with here, and it's the Broncos. Ooh. Denver Bronco. Teddy Bridgewater, Teddy Two Gloves. Having fun out there. Really, the team charisma, everything's there. I love the Broncos. I think they have a great defense. They're going to be on the road. They're going to be playing. Sorry, here. I just got so. Fuck. Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't know why I didn't just have that there in my head. Trevor Lawrence. So another team that I'm just going to be fading. Jacksonville here. Trevor Lawrence just lost first real season game since like before high school. Never lost in high school. Never lost in college. So probably a little demoralizing. Knowing you're on this team, being that talent, it's going to be tough for him. He's not behind a vet. He doesn't have that same coaching staff. It's not like Mahomes or a lot of these guys, Rodgers, all these great quarterbacks that came in under someone, right? So I just like what the Broncos are doing. I think they're kicking off to a great season. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do all season, but over the Jaguars is an easy pick. So I'm rolling Broncos money line. The over is at 4.5. I'm going to take it. Trevor Lawrence, he's going to be pretty depressed, but he's also
right?
What did I say?
4.5. I'd take that over all day.
45.5.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Having a moment here. 45.5 is the over. I'm going to take the over. Money line and the over. One bet, Shea. And you know what? I'm just going to ride that. That's just a feeling. Broncos are rolling. I think Jacksonville, Trevor's going to have to start throwing big time. Yep. He does have a great arm. He's a sick weapon. I think he's a generational talent. And he's going to have to start stepping up, man. I think what he'll bring to this team will allow more money to come in, better weapons eventually. It's not going to happen this season at all, but he's going to have to throw some touchdowns. He's going to be trying to win a game. So I'll take Broncos in the over money line.
I completely agree with you, man. The thing about being the number one overall draft pick in the NFL draft is when you're in high school, yes, you're a great talent. You get to pick what school you go to. So, yes, Trevor Lawrence, high school, awesome talent. Guess where he picked? He picked to go to Clemson. Clemson, awesome program.
Yeah, must be nice.
They've been dominant. So that he went from a first place to a first place team. You know what I mean? Now you go into the NFL entry draft and you don't get to pick where you're going. You get drafted first overall. You're going to the shittiest team from last year. Mm-hmm. So that's a tough thing for a young quarterback to finally realize, hey, this team is not good. I don't have the weapons I had in college. I don't have the weapons I had in high school. We're going to lose. It's going to happen. But he is a good quarterback. I do see him in 5 years' time being one of those generational talents. He's got an awesome arm. So yeah, man, I'd ride with you with the Broncos there, man. I think the Broncos win. That's a good pick.
Thanks, man.
So
what do you got next? We got a good week. I'm excited. I'm excited to watch football again.
For football,
I watched football for like 9 hours straight Sunday, and it was great every minute of it.
I hear you. I got my next pick here. I got the Cowboys visiting the Chargers. Chargers are laying 3.5 points. So Justin Herbert and the Chargers offense looked solid against a Washington defense that,
sure did.
Is supposed to be top tier in the NFL. They generated 424 total yards of total offense. But you know what, man? I feel like it was kind of a phony win. It was only a 4-point game. And the only reason they had that 4-point game was Fitzmagic went down. That's tough for a Washington team to rally against. You lose your starting quarterback week 1. He's gone for a few weeks.
Yeah.
It's a tough feeling, right? And they were winning the game. They were up. So, despite the amount of offense Chargers had there, I was less impressed with their game than I was with the Cowboys competing against the Buccaneers on Thursday Night Football.
Great football game.
Dak is
came out
back.
and ball.
Dak is
But he's
back.
not showing anything for what
No.
happened. You know what I mean? Like everyone was looking at his throw, seeing if he's moving his feet different or anything. Nope.
He went 42 for 58. Tossed the ball for 403 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. That's not the best. But this is what I was most impressed with Dallas was their defense. Their defense, is taking steps forward, led by Micah Parsons. As a rookie, he's their play caller. So he's their guy on the defense that's communicating with the coach in the helmet, calling out the plays as a rookie. So this guy is for real. He's a real good linebacker. Their defense forced 2 interceptions by Tom Brady and also forced 2 fumbles. So, their defense is looking good. I was very impressed with that. And you know what? Accompanied that by the Dallas offense with their 2 wide receivers there. They have Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb. Amari Cooper went 139 yards, 2 touchdowns. Lamb went 104 yards with 1 touchdown. Like, that could be the best duo in the league. Home field advantage for the Chargers has been non-existent for years. They don't really have fans. Chargers it's a lonely spot there. I remember when they were playing in
San Diego.
They had nobody in their stands. It was the quietest stadium ever. So I don't think that's going to be a real big factor for Dallas, who, Dallas fans travel. I see them rolling out to that game. My pick's Dallas plus the 3.5 points. I like the Cowboys this week.
Let's go, Cowboys.
America's
it only took 1 week. It took 1 week for that to change. Honestly, I didn't see them winning more than like maybe 5 games this season before, but hope you took the over. I think their over was 6.5. I forget. We'll have to look back. Getting into my next pick. Bang, bang, bang. My pick of the week. My lock of the week.
Oh, here it is.
And it's a tough one to get behind because it's a bird team. But from what I saw last week, oh my God, are they playing well? I like what I'm seeing at Arizona. Okay. I'm taking Arizona this week. Kyler Murray was just ridiculous the way he runs around and sees the field. And I love that kind of play. And I think that's how they should let Lamar play. They're letting him play. Arizona's a bit of a rebuild team. They've got fans. They've got backing. They've got talent. They've got vets. I like what I'm seeing from them, and it's really tough because I fade birds like you wouldn't believe. But Minnesota Vikings, preseason, this season, I think it's tough for them to get points. I can't get behind Cousins. He can still play. He can still throw a ball. They do still have weapons. Is it Jefferson?
Yep.
Some Vikings. Love what I'm seeing out of him. Last season was incredible. So I'm not saying like this is going to be easy, but I definitely think the Cardinals are not screwing around. I think they're throwing up points. I think their defense can probably fuck with Vikings enough to get a over 3.5. So I'm going to take Arizona 3.5.
All right. How good did J.J. Watt look in a Cardinals uniform?
Oh,
he does so much for that offense, man.
Oh, he gets around people and gets his hand on you so quick, man. He's always tripping people up. He's always in a play. He is a Hall of Famer, future Hall of Famer for sure.
I would have to agree with you, man. He was taking the double team, so the O-line would have to focus on J.J. Watt, which would leave 2 or 3 of the other rushers wide opening. And you know what? They sacked Tennessee. Who was it? It was somebody for the Cardinals there. He got 5 sacks in one game and tied the franchise record.
Yeah. I think not Jacobs or something.
No.
Johnson.
No.
Yeah, Jeffrey.
Jeffrey.
I thought
it doesn't start with a J.
Anyways,
but no, he's that big defensive lineman that he takes the pressure from the other team's best guards, best centers, best tackles, and lets those other guys run free.
Jones. With Jones,
yes,
it was
Chandler Jones.
Shit.
Chandler Jones, yes. So that was impressive to see. So you know what, man? I like that pick. I think Kyler Murray is going to be throwing some bombs. Did you see DeAndre Hopkins catch in the end zone there?
Yeah. Beautiful.
That's tap down. Oh,
disgusting. Just so clean.
Making highlights in week 1. I love
surgical precision. Just so weapon. And he's so cocky too, and he knows it. But love to see that. That's a great pick. Love Arizona. What do you got? I think you've got just your little two-teamer.
Yep. So
I've got one more pick, and then I got my Peter Piper parlay. My first Peter Piper parlay of the season, people. And these things, they don't all hit, but when it does,
Cashola.
Going shopping. And anyways, I'll get into my Peter Piper parlay after my last pick here, which is going to be a surprise. But Shea, tell us about this little trick you got up your sleeve for this week here.
Yeah, Johnny, you know what, man? That's an awesome pick from, the Cardinals. I like the Cardinals. Great pick there. This next ticket here for me is my 2-game teaser. I'm doing a 2-game teaser this week. I got screwed by 1 game. The Bills lost last week. I did 3 games last week. 2 of them hit. So I'm bringing it back. We're going down to 2 games. 2-game teaser. And here's the first leg of it. I'm going with my Patriots. My New England Patriots are going to New York. They're playing the Jets. The Jets are not a good football team. They're not a good football club. Their organization.
Zach Wilson was thrown okay though.
Yeah, but they're garbage, man. They're not a good football. They lost to Carolina, and Carolina's not good. So they're not good. They're like the Jaguars.
They made Carolina look good.
They sure did, man. And you know what? I loved what I was seeing from my boy Mac Jones. I'll tell you that right now. You know what? They might have lost the game. Yes, they lost the Dolphins by 1 point, but they had 4 fumbles. 4. That's tough. Not going to win you any football games.
No, it's not.
That's tough on them. And I guarantee you this week, Bill Belichick in practice is taping that football to guys' hands, saying, if you drop this fucking ball one more goddamn time, you're getting cut. You're going to join Cam Newton on the free agent list.
Yeah.
You're gone.
Have fun in La La Land.
Exactly. So, you know what? I'm going to be taking the Patriots. Now, the spread here is -6. So, this is part of my teaser leg. So, I'm going to take the Patriots. I'm going to tease them down to a pick 'em. So, I just need the Patriots to win. It's basically a money line pick. I'm taking the Patriots at pick 'em. My second leg, I liked what I was seeing from the Eagles. That Eagles team, Jalen Hurts, they looked good. Their offense.
San Fran, but I do like Eagles. I'm with you.
Their offense looked good. Their defense, they had 2
complete ball. They're playing complete ball. Yep. I feel
they had 2 stops on their own goal line and held Atlanta to field goals in the first half. So I love that. That's a good look for them. They got a great red zone defense. So they're not going to make it easy by any means for this 49ers club.
That's right.
So, 49ers are good. We all know that. They got a solid defense. They got a solid offense. That's common knowledge. 49ers are a good football team. But I think the Eagles here are a sleeper. So the 49ers they're laying 3 points. I'm going to tease them the opposite direction. So I'm going to take the 49ers all the way up to 9 points. So they're laying 9 points.
9.
And I'm going the opposite way. I'm taking the Eagles plus the 9 points.
Love that. Wow.
So I'm going back with it. They had that 49ers kind of had that fall apart in the fourth quarter where they let the Lions come back. I see Jalen Hurts. He's squirming. He's getting down there. He's going to throw a couple late touchdowns, to bring this game back. I don't think it's a 2-score game by any means. I think it's a 1-score game. At the best, I think the 49ers win by 7. If not, I think it's going to be a field goal kind of game. I love the Eagles at +9. So that's my 2-game teaser, not 3. We got 2-game teaser coming in with the Patriots at pick'em and Eagles +9.
That's fun. You need those Patriots, but they're up against Jets. I see that happening. Eagles +9 feels safe to me. I think that could be a close game. I took San Fran -3. I think it's gonna be more than a field goal, but I'm seeing like 24-20 kind of game. Could go either way. Big defense game. Let's see. We love it.
We could both win on that bet.
We're both going to win on this. With your +9 and my -3, we could both easily win, and I hope we do. I'm getting into my final pick of my 5. I've got a Peter Piper parlay coming in hot right after that. I've got a unit on. Really looking forward to seeing what happens with that. First off is the pick. Now, I like this Bills and Dolphins game.
Okay.
It's in Miami. Okay. Bills didn't show me anything I liked to stick with them at all last week.
Nothing.
I've got no business making this bet, but it's a feeling, and these are the feelings I like to stick with. That's a shitty game. That's a tough start. They're going to be working really hard to make completions, get third downs, or first down, conversions. And I think it's a must win for the Bills. Miami's coming off that win off the Patriots here. If they win, they're 2-0, and that puts Bills at 0-2. Crazy start to the year. Can't see it happening. I think the odds are definitely against it. Could it happen? Sure, but I could win $1 million tomorrow on that. I'm taking Bills -3. I think they got to blow it. I think they've got to pop. I think Josh Allen is still a weapon. I think they're still a great team. I think they had a bad start to the week. Tough game for them. Take it with it. It's over. Second week, we got to ball out. So I think they go down to the Dolphins. I think they pump them. The over might be a look, but I'm just taking Bills spread -3. And those are my 5 picks of the week. I'm really looking forward to seeing what this week does. We've got some dogs in there, and we've got some, I took a dog money line -3. Like, it's going to be a good week. The Broncos over. So those are some fun picks. It's going to be really fun to watch. Here comes my Peter Piper parlay. Enough that I don't mind putting a unit down on it, and we'll see what happens. I'm taking Saints.
Touch on that Bills game there, buddy, before you dive into your Peter Piper parlay. Listen.
Sure. And I didn't touch the Packers or the Lions this week. I know you noticed that. I don't even want to talk about it.
We won't go there. We won't go there and say how Aaron Rodgers is going to throw it and get everyone fired, and he says fuck the Packers. So yeah, back to your pick there with the Bills and the Dolphins, man. You know what? I agree with you 100%. I think that, this is a must-win game for the Bills. If they want to win their division and have that Super Bowl opportunity like they had last year, they have to beat the Dolphins this week.
Or it's going to be a tough season.
It's tough, man. The Dolphins would go up 2-0 in their division. Bills would go down to 0-1 in their division and 0-2 on the season. That's a tough climb back. So they got to win this game. This is a must-win game for the Buffalo Bills. I like it, man. I love that pick.
So those are my 5. I like your 5. You had that little 2-leg teaser in. I've got a Peter Piper parlay. These are teams that are just what I feel to be locks, especially after last week, what I was seeing. And I like to, we can put a unit down at 1.23, 1.35 all day. It just doesn't add up quick enough. So I like making bang for my buck. I like parlays. I really believe in this one. I think the Saints, Broncos, Chiefs, and Cardinals are the 4 safest bets that I can see. I like those bets. That's gambling. And at the end of the day, those are what I'm picking for my Peter Piper parlay.
I love it, man. I love it. But Johnny, man, I like that pick. Great Peter Piper parlay there. And you know what? Like you said, man, yes, betting individual games is a nice way to build a record. We could go 5-0. We could do this. But you're not making tons of money picking favorites. Let's be honest here. But with your parlay, you're going to make money a lot quicker. And you know what, man? I see that being as a safe parlay. I think the Chiefs win. I think that's an easy win. So I like it, man. And you know what, boys? This is a great episode of the Gambling Goats podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe to us on YouTube. Keep your eye open for our socials as they are in the works and they are coming. Johnny, man, great episode. Let's make some money this week. What do you think?
Let's make some money. I'm looking forward. Next week, come back. We'll go over what we did get from this week. Again, if gambling's gambling, if it's $10, if it's $100, if you have a problem, don't bet anything you can't afford to lose. But if you have a problem, call 1-800-GAMBLING. This is just fun. This is betting. I don't really see it as gambling. We look into everything from injured list to, what we see from every spectrum of our intel here. And it's the World Wide Web. And let me tell you, it'll tell you a lot of things. And, we just got big hearts here and we know how to make some money. So anyways, I think it's a great week to make money, man. Cheers to you. Cheers to another week. I'll see you Sunday when we make watch some football. Cheers.
Cheers, brother.